funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
All right, welcome to Picks and Parlays Radio on this Monday, the 14th of October, 2019. It is Columbus Day, a day that's become so politically incorrect. I understand Congress are about ready to replace it with National Proctologist Day. Still be a national holiday, though. I'm your host, Nick Geber, in for Chelsea Messenger. You can find me on Twitter at Nick Geber. We are on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, and we're also streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Schmutter, you name it all. We're there. We're everywhere you want to be, on the radio, on the web. Oh, by the way, also broadcasting on the American Forces Network. We'd like to welcome all of our men and women in uniform around the world, serving so honorably for us to the show. Thank you for your service. Well, we've got a big show to get to today. Our NFL and college football opening lines report with expert handicapper Tony Tellez. We've got a lot of games, I won't say matches, games to cover in a short period of time. So hold on, fasten your seatbelt. Then we got Chip Chirimbes, the mighty Chipper, who is really crushing it at picksandparlays.net with his picks. We're going to cover cards at Nationals in Major League Baseball, Pittsburgh at Syracuse College football, and Monday Night Football. We're going to touch on the Lambs, maybe the Lions and the Packers. It's one of those days, folks. And then Deshaun Higgs, college football, UCLA at Stanford, my alma mater. Should I shed a tear at how poor that program has become? Ohio at Northwestern and Clemson at Louisville. Those are the topics on the table today. And as always, we would love to hear from you. You can find us on any of our social media accounts, whether that is YouTube, whether that's Twitter, whether that's Facebook. If you comment, we will see your comment. Our producer, Andrew, will vet them, provided that there's no one being very rude to me. I mean, you can be rude, but not like ridiculously rude, okay? He will put them up on the screen, and I will endeavor to read them during the show so you can participate. And if you really, really have found a pair of stones and think you have something, if you know something we don't, we want to hear from you. We're talking about sports betting here, not, I don't know, the meaning of life or some ridiculous mathematical theory. You can reach us in the studio at 800-878-7529. If you're wondering what that spells, I'm going to tell you. It's 800-878-PLAY, just to make it easy. All right, that's how it works. That's the show. Coming up after the break, we will hit our opening line reports on college football and the NFL with Tony Tellez. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back after this.
Now that you can get your favorite Chili's 3 for $10 meals delivered, anywhere can be your own personal Chili's. So?
Hi, welcome to my house.
Welcome to the meat lovers section of my in-laws' vegan barbecue. Burgers, finally.
Welcome to my therapist's office, where it's okay to eat your feelings. And quesadillas.
Welcome to Chili's Delivery. Order online at chili's.com/delivery and get all your favorite 3 for $10 meals, like Cajun chicken pasta, delivered right to you wherever you are. At participating restaurants only. 3 for $10 not available via third-party platforms. Delivery fees apply.
Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low-cost airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. It gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
You're in charge of hiring, and Indeed has solutions, like online skills tests, which let a candidate show that they're the right hire. And we give you this toy monkey, which will bang its cymbals when the right resume appears. Okay, there is no monkey.
I said there is no monkey!
But skills tests, that's for sure.
See why independent research by Silk Road shows Indeed delivers 3 times more hires than any other job site. Visit Indeed.com/promo today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply.
All right, welcome back to the show, Picks and Parlays Radio. I'm your host, Nick Eber. Welcome back. We got a lot to get to today. Joining me for our opening line report for college football and the NFL, fresh from his parole hearing, Tony T. How are you doing, Tony?
I'm doing very good. I was released, so I'm feeling very great today.
Was it on your own recognizance?
Yes, it was.
Okay, glad to hear it. All right, Tony, well, we got a lot to get to today. Should we start with the NFL? Why don't we kick it off with the Chiefs and at Broncos? The Chiefs 22-3 straight up against divisional opponents and 17-8 against the spread. The Broncos, on the other hand, 4-11 in the past 15 night games. How's this one going down? Tell me about the lines.
The NFL.
How are they shifting?
Yeah, the NFL is an interesting league. What was up is down. What was down is up in this league right now. And the line opened KC minus 3.5, total of 49. That's the current odds. It opened 5.5 Chiefs favored, total 15.5. So we've seen money here on the Broncos. Well, the Broncos are on a 2-game winning streak, showing improvement defensively. 9 sacks against the Titans. Over their past 2 games, they've allowed just 13 points a game. We've seen some holes with this Chiefs, Nick. Their defense not very good. We saw the teams like the Texans and Colts run on this Kansas City offense, and to great success. And the Broncos have a pretty good run game, so I could understand the line moving here with this Chiefs and Broncos Thursday night game.
All right, next up, shall we do Raiders at Packers? The Raiders not good on the road when playing NFC opponents. They're 3-12 on the road, 13-11-1 against the spread. The Packers won 7 straight against AFC teams. Is this line moving?
It is, yeah. It opened here with Green Bay minus 7.5, total 46. We're seeing a little money here on Oakland. Of course, the Packers will play tonight, Monday Night Football, but we've seen the line move now to Green Bay minus 7. A little tick up on the total of 46.5. Of course, Oakland here, they're coming off the bye week. Of course, the Packers will be in action here. So it's kind of an ideal spot for the Raiders. That were probably why we saw that line come down a bit. Raiders coming off the bye week, looking good, beating a good defensive team in the Bears. And of course, everyone figures here that the Packers will be in a tussle here against a division rival. So there may be some issues there for the Packers in a short week here. One thing about the Raiders is they are getting production on the ground, running for nearly 5 yards a carry, and that's helping Derek Carr in the passing game. His completion rate over 73%. He's thrown no picks in his past 2 games and coming off a good showing against Chicago. And, of course, they do have a win against the Colts. So that explains the movement there on the Raiders.
Actually, interestingly enough, I think it's tightening up some more because I just pulled it up this morning. I got minus 6.5 points. So, wow. Tony, maybe getting a little tighter there, shall we say. Let's do the Texans at Colts. The Texans become an excellent road team, 7-2 for the last 9 away games. But the Colts win 7 of the last 8 home games. You can take the stat you want, I guess, on this one. Have this as a pick 'em. How do you have it?
Yeah, this one's back and forth here. Currently, we see Indianapolis -1. It opened Houston -1. The total moved up a half point up to 48 from an opener of 47.5. Oh, this is going to be a tight game. You know, the Texans have been very successful on the road, coming with that outright road win against KC behind a really good running attack. You know, Houston offense, number one on third down and number one in the red zone. And they've even converted 4 of 5 on fourth down. Now, looking here at the Colts defense, 25th on third down, 29th in the red zone. So there's a strength against a weakness here. We know Deshaun Watson completing very well, 69%. We're seeing the line move, I think, because the Colts coming off the bye week and the fact they're home for this game. And, of course, it'll be back-to-back road games for Houston.
All right, let's do Ravens at Seahawks. Russell Wilson's been wicked at home against AFC teams, going on 14-1 since 2012, Tony. The Ravens 3-10 against the spread against NFC teams. That's since 2016. I have Seahawks -4. How do you have this one?
Yeah, we see -4, -3.5 in some places, total 51. It opens Seattle -3.5, total 50.5. So we've seen the line move a bit here on Seattle, the total up a half a point. And of course, Seattle, they really withstood that strong challenge by a Browns team looking to rebound after an embarrassing loss to the 49ers. And, you know, the Seahawks, once a ground and pound team, they've now adjusted to running and throwing the football equally. So that's really showcasing Russell Wilson's skills as a quarterback. 72% completion rate, 14 touchdowns and no picks, still running the ball for about 130 a game. Now, of course, Baltimore have failed to cover 4 of their past 5 on the road. They have a loss at KC by 5 and needed overtime to beat a Pittsburgh team who is using a duck collar at quarterback, the third stringer. So Chiefs offense, you know, the Chiefs were the best offense the Ravens faced and gave up 33 on the road. So I think people here are looking at Seattle's passing attack. They can exploit this Ravens team.
All right, Eagles at Cowboys. The Cowboys on a 3-game losing streak, but they're 9-1 against NFC teams, including 3 straight wins against the Eagles. I have Cowboys -3. What do you have?
That's where it is right now. Dallas -3. Total 47.5, down from an opener of 48.5, and it did open Dallas -3, so no movement off that 3. And of course, Dallas. The one thing to note with Dallas, they've been very good against the division, the NFC East, and the defense has held up despite struggles by the offense of late. You know, at home, Dallas, they are moving football over 500 yards a game. Eagles not performed well on the road, allowing 30 points and 435 yards a game. Here's that stat here: Dallas against the NFC East, Nick, 12-2 straight up and against the spread. And of course, you know, the Cowboys' struggles came against the Jets, Packers, and Saints. These are better than average defenses. Eagles' defense, not quite as good.
All right, Saints and Bears. The Saints covered the spread 15 straight October games. That's a really odd statistic. It really is. Sean Payton 4-0 straight up and against the spread in the last 10 years. I mean, we're looking at some statistics that are, not quite as old as I am, but, you know, I don't know, maybe getting there.
All right, we got the Chicago Bears now favorite 3, total 39.5. It opened Chicago -4, total 38.5. So we've seen money come here on the Saints and on the over. And of course, the Saints, they've just looked really good defensively. They're holding teams to 18 points, 273 yards per game on the road. They've held their past 3 opponents to 257 yards or fewer. They shut down Minshew and the stash there, just 226 yards of offense last week in a defensive struggle. But you got to give credit to Teddy Bridgewater, the backup QB. He's managing the team well, 69% completion rate, 7 TDs, 2 picks. Of course, Alvin Kamara provides a good running and receiving talent. Saints near the top 3rd in the league on third down. And of course, looks like Mitchell Trubisky back for the Bears. He's on the practice squad. I'm sorry, he practiced this week. And Tyler Bray, who was the backup, the second string now, has been released. So it looks like it'll be Trubisky back. But Trubisky only 5.5 yards per attempt. He's an erratic passer, really hits his receivers in stride, and then impacts the Bears' ability to make big plays. I can see why the money's on the Saints.
All right, well, Tony, I know we'd promised everybody some college football opening lines, but, you know, I think I'm a liar because we're just about out of time. We do have time for the Patriots at Jets. The Jets are 9-4 against the spread versus the Patriots. And the Patriots, though, favored by 10 or more, they're 19-1 and 16-4 against the spread. I have Patriots -10 on this one.
Yeah, this line opened really big here. Current odds, Patriots 10, total 42. It opened New England -9.5, total 43. So we're seeing money here on the Patriots. These teams have played to under the total. That's been the trend here for their past 5 meetings. Of course, New England defense just been outstanding, holding teams to 8 points and 234 yards a game, and they're forcing nearly 3 turnovers a game. That's just excellent work there. And of course, we've talked about Patriots and Jets. The trend is to the under in 4 of 6. New York, no offensive points. Just a touchdown on a special teams and a pick 6 in their first meeting. Now, Sam Darnold sees a Bill Belichick defense for the second time. The first time was the last week of the season. They lose. The Jets lost 35-3. Darnold just 16 of 28, 167 yards, 4 sacks, only 3 points on the board here for the Jets in defeat. I can understand why they're looking at the Patriots here, early money.
All right, Tony, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Let's get one college game in. Michigan, Penn State. I got Penn State minus 18. What do you have on this one, the Big Ten?
Well, that's a little too high there. It's minus 18 and a half. It opens Penn State minus 7.5, total 45. Of course, the Penn State Lions come off that physical performance, but I think people are still worried about how Michigan looked against Wisconsin, getting blown out in that loss. But Michigan still controls their destiny in that Big Ten division race, and their defense has improved a little bit. But again, I think why we've seen this line move here on Penn State is how Michigan looked against Wisconsin.
All right, Tony T, always a pleasure. Sorry we did not get time for the rest of the college football picks. We're going to have you back about 3 times this week, so I'm pretty sure we will have an opportunity to get to all of them. If you want to see more of Tony's picks, go to picksandparlays.net. Loads of free picks there. And if you're ready to make the big money, then you can sign up for expert picks, and Tony's right there along with all of our expert handicappers here on Picks and Parlays Radio. All right, we're going to step aside, take a break. When we come back, the man who puts the handicap in handicapper, Mr. Chip Chirimbes, joining us right here.
The blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851. 800-439-7851.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. They want your money, and guess what? They can legally take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you. So what do? Fight back by letting our team of experts at the tax helpline work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws and will fight to save your money. So, if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket.
800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. 800-932-1749. That's 800-932-1749.
All right, welcome back to the show. Picks and Parlays Radio on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. I'm your host, Nick Gieber, in, by the way, for Chelsea Messinger. And if you watched the show Friday, we had Chelsea guest hosting. And for those of you that are saying, why did we go from this beautiful Chelsea Messinger to this absolute pig of a man here in front of me? It's because she's 8 months pregnant. And I may actually look 8 months pregnant, but I'm really not. So we'll just leave it right there. All right, I am joined by our expert handicapper, Chip Chirimbes, the man who mentored Matt Lauer, right here on the show.
Well, I do have a master's in human sexuality from NYU, so we can understand how to get through that.
That's scary, Chip. Keep your distance. All right,
I was a teacher.
All right.
The field work was great, I can tell you that much.
I'm sure it was, Chip. All right, we got a lot to get to today. Why don't we start with some baseball? By the way, Chip, I have just found out, because we have you on here. We do a lot of baseball on here with you. You're on this show, folks. On this show, not even just like on the website. Check out Chip. On this show, he's 8-2 on baseball on this show. So if you listen to this show and you put money on what Chip was telling us, you're doing quite well. You're smiling. You probably have a brand new Ferrari. And send us a picture, by the way. And you can, by the way, send us a picture on our social media. We're on Twitter. We're at Picks Parlays. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. And if you'd like to chime up or have something to say, we'd love to hear from you. If you comment on the social media while this broadcast is going on, we'll comment on it if we can, provided it's, relatively clean. All right, Chipper, let's get to it, shall we? Today's game, Cardinals at Nationals. This looks to me like the Nationals going to run away with this thing. How do you?
Well, we're very fortunate. Like you said, we've hit 8 out of 10 on the air, but we also posted St. Louis as Washington as best bets the first 2 times out. So we're 2-0 in this series, and I don't think they can catch us here. St. Louis is throwing we've been right here, Nick, and I've been saying how I just love this Flaherty, this pitcher for the Cardinals, and we've backed him, though we played against him earlier. The Cardinals are 13-4 in their last 17 games where he has started to the under. So when he pitches, you're getting great value. He's had a great record here in the playoffs. He's done absolutely fabulous. The second half of the season, winning 9 of his last 10. Now Washington, who has his 2-game lead, is going to send Strasburg, their ace, who won 20 games this year, 20-6. He's 2-0 in the playoffs with a 2.40 ERA. In 15 innings in the playoffs so far, he has 15 Ks. He has 21 Ks in only 15 innings. But, there's more than one way to go in this, because you might be a little afraid of playing the Cardinals. They're down 2-0. They're favored here on the road. They're a dog here on the road. St. Louis has only won 2 of their last 7 playoff games, though, believe it or not, Nick, they won 5 of the last 6 times they played at Washington. But there's also a couple of different ways to consider playing these 2 teams. The under has been good. 7 of the last 10 times, the last 8 times they played, Nick, with 1 push. And also, there's an umpiring factor that comes in on baseball, which many people don't consider. And I looked this one up, and there's a plate umpire by the name of Bill Miller. And when he's behind the plate, the games have a tendency to go under the total. As a matter of fact, in his last 10 games, where he has been behind the plate and the Washington Nationals have been involved, they've gone under the total 10 of the 11 times.
Well, hold on, Chipper. So we got a Miller time.
Right,
basically telling us that games going the under.
Yes.
We've got St. Louis St. Louis had only 3 hits on Saturday. The Nationals have allowed only 1 run in 2 games. Then they've got the Nationals have Steven Strasburg, 18-6, 3.32 ERA, 15 innings in the postseason. He struck out 21 batters, and incredibly, he has a .84 WHIP. I mean, none of the stats here are saying we're going to have
a high-scoring game.
None.
So the trends and everything they say with these 2 pitchers, Flaherty being the best for St. Louis and Strasburg the best for Washington,
Did you say flatity?
How do you pronounce that?
It's flatity. Like,
flatity?
Then you have a bad case of flatulence.
Well, that's flatulence I can get. I thought this was the golf pro, but he's been absolutely outstanding for the Cardinals, and so has Strasburg. So I think that your safest way to play here may be to play the under. It's what I'm giving here on the show.
You think?
So maybe we'll be 9-2 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, there's more games tomorrow, too.
Oh, that's not the score.
No.
I'm just joking. No, you're going to be 9-2 tomorrow. I think the under, all the stats here are telling us the under. So, Chip, you're going with the under. Let's go to, we're going to jump around. We're doing a little sports jumping around because
we have a lot to offer.
Like Bo Jackson, you're a multi-sport man, right?
Well, you know what?
Does anyone even remember Bo Jackson?
We do this every day, and that's why the 30-day package is so valuable on Picks and Parlays, because you don't have to hunt and peck and search for the winners. They will be there in any sport each and every day. Now we've got college football, picksandparlays.net. Let's get to it.
I was actually going to say like Bo Derek, you're a multi-sport, but no, like Bo Jackson.
No,
okay,
Bo Jackson.
Pittsburgh at Syracuse. Little ACC matchup. Pittsburgh 4-2, Syracuse 3-3. Pittsburgh 4-2 against the spread. Syracuse 2-4 against the spread. Another one confusing here, Chipper. Point us in the right direction, my
All right, well, Syracuse has had a little trouble scoring points, and that's the first thing. And they have covered 3 of the last 4 against this Pittsburgh team at home. Both these teams are now moved into the ACC, and it hasn't helped them, either of them, since they've gone there. But, Pittsburgh has had an edge over Syracuse. They're 6-2-2 in the last 10 meetings, Nick. And these two teams, back from their days when they were in the Big East together, have a rivalry, and they've played each other pretty tough. As a matter of fact, I've actually seen when Ironhead Haywood was playing for Pittsburgh, them play at the Dome in Syracuse. And the Orange, defensively, Ironhead Haywood, he's passed on. He's one of the top.
What was that, 1846?
Well, no, I don't think they were playing. Well, they were playing college football then, but they didn't have the Dome Stadium in Syracuse at the time.
Oh, Ironhead Haywood, the great gladiator of the Roman era.
Well,
where were your seats in the Roman Colosseum?
They were on the upper level first row. But I can tell you this Haywood used his head often enough that he is one of the reasons the NFL is being sued for brain damage and things along those lines. But let me say that last year, Pittsburgh upset Syracuse in overtime, 44-37 at home. But these two teams seem to have a rivalry, and Syracuse has struggled on defense this year. They're allowing 426 yards. Last week, they had virtually no offense. They get beat by NC State. So they're coming off a loss. Pittsburgh's coming off a win. I could see these two sort of coming together with those points, but there is some other interesting information about these two when they get together. Syracuse has played to the under 17 of 24 times in conference play. And a lot of these teams, when they come to conference play, they're not as, say, flamboyant or as wild because they're more conservative. And Pittsburgh, by the way, has been under 23 of the last 32 times they played, including 12-2 to the under on the road, Nick. The number here is 52, and I think even though Syracuse has this weak defense, maybe they'll get stronger on defense at home, but this game should play to the under with all the trends leading this way.
Really? Even with that crappy defense?
Even with that crappy defense, because they're not putting any points on the board either. They scored 10 points last week. And this is a rival that they're used to playing heavy, hard-hitting game against. I think this is going to be one of those Big East-type slugfest affairs where Syracuse doesn't want to get into a shootout, of course, because of their lack of offense. I think this game stays under the total.
So Syracuse couldn't score in a brothel.
Well, if they had enough cash, maybe a few 50s or 100s, maybe.
All right. All right, let's go to the NFL, shall we? This is the Monday night game. Lions and Packers.
Yeah,
how about that? And it's Monday. It's tonight.
Tonight's game.
An NFC North matchup. The Packers 4-1, coming off a 32-24 win in Dallas. And Green Bay 2-1, lost to the Chiefs 34-30. Interestingly enough, the Lions are 1-4 in their last 5 versus the NFC North. That's against the spread, of course.
Right, but they are 4-0, and the last 4 times they played Green Bay, believe it or not. And that shows a little contradiction in what's been going on overall, because of late, that's the trend. But overall, the favorite, Nick, is 19-7 in the last 26 meetings. And when you've got Aaron Rodgers now with a lot of confidence out there, this Green Bay team, I'm surprised this line was so short. Detroit has been, a doormat since Matt Patricia has gotten there. They're 2-1-1. They had a tie against Arizona, which is showing now not to be such a bad play because Arizona's been playing much, much better. They've won 3 in a row against this Green Bay team, including a 31-0 beatdown to close the season last year. And Detroit is 6-1 after a bye. getting the points here may be the way to go. It looks to me right now, Nick. The under is 8-3 in the last 11 meetings, but that's overall. But in the last 7 meetings at Green Bay, it's gone over. I mean, Green Bay in their last 7 meetings at home has gone over the total 6 times. So I think Detroit might be the way to go here, Nick. I'm going to take the points. I'm not going to mess with the total. There are conflicting trends here. And it was so conflicting, I even confused myself when I was giving it.
Well, they covered the spread, the Detroit, in their last 2 games.
Yes,
so
they
that's
have.
helpful.
And I'll tell you, Nick, it wasn't anticipated for them to emerge this way. I mean, they struggled, and this Matt Stafford has a reputation for not being able to beat the winning clubs. His record against winning teams is absolutely horrific. I think it's under 30%. And that even includes against the point spread. Maybe this team is finally coming together. It's Patricia's 3rd year there, and Stafford has been there, I think, 8 or 9 years now. And we're really expecting some good things out of a quarterback that has put up incredible stats, Nick, through his career with no wins. And,
well, but I mean, how much of that is the team that's around?
Well, you know, that's just one of the knocks on, say, Phillip Rivers with the Chargers. As great as he's been, and he's got a Hall of Fame numbers, he's never won in the playoffs, the big games, because he's been up against Manning and Brady and really bad circumstances, teams that weren't quite as good. And that probably has been the situation here. But he just seems to have given up the big interception in crucial games. And Detroit has struggled with him at the helm.
Yeah, but, you know, look, you can look at any team. I don't care, any team in any sport. It's very, very rare that you get one player that transcends the team around them. You know, we can talk soccer, maybe Diego Maradona. You can talk the Michael Jordans in basketball. He had a great team around him, by the way. You know, you can talk Tom Brady, but you tell me when the Patriots have put a rubbish team around Tom Brady. Never, right? Never.
And you know what it is, too? There's, say, 22 starters in football. Actually, there's pretty more when you get the special teams. 11 on offense, 11 on defense. Michael Jordan can control the ball when there's 5 people.
Right.
And baseball and football, it's really difficult to do. You may have a pitcher that can be dominant, that actually control the game. But football, no matter how good your quarterback is, if you have no defense or you have no running game, one player is not going to do it. So many of these teams, Nick, that are like 0-4, 0-5, are so far away from being winners or being good, whereas some of these teams in other sports and basketball may be 1 or 2 players away. 2 players in basketball is 40% of your team. 40% of your team in football is not going to cut it.
All right, Chip Chirimbes. You can find him on picksandparlays.net. Loads of free picks there. And again, you can also get Chip's expert picks there as well. But they do have free ones up there at picksandparlays.net. Coming up next, let's do a little college football with Deshaun Higgs. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Hall of Fame catcher Johnny Bench. I used to hit dingers and throw lasers when I was a Major League Baseball player. Now I do yard work, raise my boys, and get the occasional 18 holes in, but I still have to deal with that Hall of Fame pain. I use Blue Emu pain relief products. The Blue Emu Maximum Arthritis or Continuous Spray are easy to use. I just spray or rub it on. No stinging or burning. Blue Emu. It works fast and you won't stink. Available at nationwide retailers.
Do you owe $10,000 or more on at least 2 federal student loans? Then you may qualify for new programs offered by the Department of Education. These programs can reduce your interest, lower your payments, and possibly qualify you for loan forgiveness. If you have $10,000 or more and at least 2 federal student loans and currently not in school, you may qualify for one of these programs. Call now to check your eligibility. Student loan advisors are standing by to help you determine if you qualify for these new programs. They can help you reduce your interest, lower your payment, and even forgive a portion of your student loan debt. Take control of your financial future. Make this free 5-minute free call now to Nationwide Student Loans and learn how you can reduce your student loan debt.
800-439-7851, 800-439-7851, 800-439-7851, 800-439-7851.
At 28, I had struggled with opiate and meth addiction for 12 years. I did and said things that the sober me never would have done. One day I realized I was not invincible. I was not exempt. And that's when a friend told me about elite rehab placement. They gave me the tools I needed to get sober, and all it took was the one phone call.
Elite Rehab can help you start to break your addiction problem and get sober in as little as 7 days. And we'll work with your insurance provider to help cover the costs. Plus, we have travel assistance programs to get you here by plane or train. Make this free call right now to learn more. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. 800-403-5912. That's 800-403-5912.
Right now, the Home Depot makes replacing your old carpet easy. With more styles and colors to choose from, there's no better time to buy. With free installation on any carpet purchase of $499 or more, all by licensed local pros. Backed for life. Today is the day for doing and saving with free carpet installation. Only at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. For a limited time, $499 minimum purchase required. Typically $699. For license information, visit homedepot.com/license numbers. Valid from November 6, 2019.
All right, you're back with us here on Picks and Parlays Radio on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network. Just a reminder, we're here with you each and every week afternoon from 4 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 1 p.m. Pacific if you're on the left coast. I'm actually in Las Vegas, which is left coast, pretty much. I mean, left desert, I guess. Anyway, that's where we are, Monday through Friday. We're also not only on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network, but we're also streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. Comment on any of the comment blocks on any three of those outlets, and we will endeavor to read them out on the show. I do have one right now. Let's see. Cristiano Cibosi says, hey, Dr. Nick. That's me, Dr. Nick. Week 9 Premier League preview. When's it coming? He's saying, hopefully this time it will be better. Yeah, well, okay, all right, I get it. Last week, didn't have a great week, but, who could have predicted Brighton beating Spurs? Who could have predicted Newcastle beating Man United? And even more than that, the biggest upset, really, that I can remember in the last year was Wolverhampton Wanderers beating Manchester City. That was plus 3,800 and almost 3,900 if you'd put some money on that. So sorry about that. But in the meantime, I do have the legend himself, Deshaun Higgs, joining me. We're going to talk some college football. And speaking of legendary teams, Sean, UCLA, my alma mater, in action at Stanford. Should we start with this Pac-12 matchup?
Let's go. And segueing from your soccer, are we going to call these games matches this week?
Yeah, let's call this one a match. We got UCLA. Yeah, right. This match, UCLA at Stanford. Well, UCLA coming off a bye week. Unfortunately, there must be something wrong with the statistics, but they're 1-5. But must be dyslexic. They're underperforming badly, only one win on the season. They really are not looking very good. Really a big disappointment. The Cardinals, though, 3-3 for Stanford, coming off a 3-game losing streak. They got victories, however, off Oregon State and Washington for the rebound. How do you like this one?
Well, you mentioned the 1-5 regular season. How about 4-14 now under Chip Kelly? I mean,
wow.
Probably not what they signed up for. I mean, that's
they'd be better
crazy.
Off with Chip Chirimbes.
Yes. And he'll bring some definitely 60s, 70s Bruins playbook with him.
He can bring the memory of old Ironhead with him. And now,
and
you wonder why people have brain injuries, really. The guy's nickname was Ironhead. I mean,
Ironhead.
I
remember playing for the Saints. I didn't even know what college you went to. I was like 10 years old when the guy was playing football in the NFL. Those are some pretty good Saints teams, though. I think Pat Swillen was back then, Ricky Jackson. They had a good linebacking core in the late 80s.
Well,
anyway, let's get back to UCLA.
Let's get to the Pac-12, shall we? Yeah, UCLA.
So, I mean, 1-5, and I'll tell you, I was looking at their schedule going over. Open the season in Cincinnati, I had them over Cincy, over CraigTrapp Cincy. All right, you lose there. We see Cincinnati. They beat up on Central Florida. They look like a pretty good team. You lose at home to San Diego State. That's a terrible loss. Oklahoma boat races them. No big surprise there. Then that 67-63 game, Washington State, they had scored 14 points in every game, and then they explode for double what they've scored the previous 3 games. Then they're coming in the Arizona game, 2017, although Arizona had a backup quarterback. And then you lose to Oregon State, who had only beat Cal Poly. Like, this team, what is going on? Dorian Robinson, he did practice it during the bye week. Maybe we'll see him, but is it really going to matter? This Stanford team, 7.5 is the line here. Total's 53.5. I think the unders definitely be in play because of just the way Stanford plays and the miserable offense of, take out their last two games, basically. They scored 31 points and then that crazy 60-point game against Washington. So I like the under, but I also like the 7.5. How about 11 straight wins over UCLA for David Shaw? And on a little note we should keep in our back pocket here with David Shaw, 26-18 versus ranked teams, and 10 of those 18 wins over top 10 teams. So not that it matters against playing UCLA, but Stanford does get up to play better teams, and I think to kick a team while it's down and really choke the life out of them, which you'll be putting UCLA in at 1-6, and you got to think the boosters at UCLA are thinking, what are we doing with Chip Kelly? Where are we going with this guy as our head coach? Are we going to wait another year on him here? So I like Stanford 7.5. I think it's going to get done. Double digits probably. UCLA is just the numbers are there. They're terrible. It's sad.
How much of UCLA's problems would you put down to the legalization of marijuana in California?
Well, I don't think it matters to these kids because they think that's normal.
All right, yeah, they're bloody awful.
But what is the problem? Like we said off the air before, like what happened to some of these big time programs? They've just fallen off the face of the earth.
Yeah,
it's bad. And the Pac-12 they just eat their own. They'll never see a BCS playoff because they have these crazy Friday night games where the team that's supposed to win, whether it be a Washington or a Utah or something, they got to go on a road on a short week and play in some stadium that's going to be rocking because the team's grasping for any hope of salvaging a season, and they knocked off. They eat their own.
Maybe it's because
it's bad for the conference. It's terrible.
Maybe it's because too many of these teams are accepting players that have never played before for large bribes. Could it be USC? All right. That was for my girlfriend Kerry. I know she's listening. All right, Clemson at Louisville. Should we do that one next? Clemson, 21st straight win against Florida State. 21st straight win. My goodness. That was a 45-14 win. And Louisville coming off a victory at Wake, 62-59. That was a nice high scorer. Actually, that could be total like a basketball score there.
If you had under 120, you were a loser there. So that's a bad beat there, losing when you have 120 points in the game. I mean, 62-59. But let's look at that for a second. Now you're coming back. You're getting 22.5 at home, and I like Louisville. We had them here opening the year. I liked them against Notre Dame getting points. I like their new head coach. He's a defensive guy. They had a race, a miserable 2-10 year last season. But I don't like laying 3 touchdowns on the road or more. But last year's score was 77-16. Not that it's going to be the same because I don't think Trevor Lawrence is the same quarterback. You see it in his numbers. I mean, 11 touchdowns, 6 picks. I don't see how this guy's the Heisman hopeful. ATN looks like the Heisman guy out of the backfield, 7 yards per rush.
Maybe they'd be better off with Jennifer Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence, yeah. Yes, and with her crossbow from
exactly
Hunger Games. She could just be, shooting defenders down and then throw the football. She'd be perfect. No interceptions.
Go Catnip, whatever her name was. I don't know.
Catnip? That's Katniss, right? All right. So you look at this. I'm looking at the stats from this last game. I mean, obviously, kind of outlier numbers. You give up 200 yards to 120 and 95 yards to 2 different running backs, and Wake isn't even close to being the talent that Clemson is. I know Clemson's lost guys on defense, and it was always like, well, they can't be as good because of that. But look at their score. They put up 52 against Georgia Tech, 41-6 at Syracuse, 21-10 that close game against North Carolina. But how'd they battle back? They crushed 45-14 over Florida State. I like them laying at 22 here because, one, I think Louisville's, they don't have the horses to come back and put half of that 60 up against Clemson here. And let's be honest, you got Ohio State putting up numbers. You got Oklahoma putting up numbers. I mean, Alabama and LSU might cancel each other out for the BCS. You never know. We've seen 2 SEC teams. So Clemson, I think, has really got to go back to like 80s, 70s, 80s style of college football where you got to put up 50, 60 points in a game to kind of keep pace with the other guys because, they say it matters a little bit and this and that, but let's be honest. People are down on Lawrence. Like I said, 11-6 ratio is not good for a guy who's supposed to, be the Heisman guy or draft pick, and he's fallen to Tua and Hurts and Burrows down in LSU. So I'll lay the 22.5 here, and the 61. That's the total strange here because I could see the 45 or 50 from Clemson because they really got to put the pedal down. but I don't know what Louisville's going to have here. I think Clemson's got to play angry the rest of the year, so I'll stay away from the total, but I'm going to lay the big points with Clemson here for sure.
Right,
22.5, I'm going to lay it.
Although Louisville are 8-0, the over in the last 8 games in October. Of course, doesn't talk about what happened in September, but, that's how it is, right?
But you know what? That's coming off a game like that. I know that we're kids. They're 20 years old, and you should be able to bounce back from that. But that's a lot of time on the field for both up and down. So, the over, it just looks 61. He just scored 120 in the game. How's his total 60 when a team's laying 22? Yeah. Is it going to be 40-13? Is that what they're looking at? Something like that? 40-20? I just think Clemson's going to put up a number because the running back, this is a running team. So I think they're going to dictate the pace. And Louisville still, listen, got a new head coach. They got to get their scheme set and everything else. It's a growing experience this season for them. I think down the road you're going to be a good team. And he kind of helped out his old program, Appy State, by knocking out Wake Forest. Wake was ranked, so that's a big win for Louisville. And who knows? Appy State maybe creeps in. He helps his old alma mater. Yeah, that's a big win for them. Especially after last year's debacle. Last year was terrible for them.
All right, let's move along to the Big Ten. Ohio State ranked third at Northwestern. Ohio State coming off a bye week. By the way, both these teams have had a bye week. That means it's bye-bye. But what can I say? Ohio State, Justin Fields. Before the bye week, they won against Michigan State 34-10. Northwestern also coming off that bye week. They had a loss 13-10 to Nebraska. Hunter Johnson, though, only 1 touchdown and 4 interceptions. It's kind of going the wrong way, isn't it? It's like scoring a basket against your own team in basketball.
Northwestern, like your flat Earth believing producer there.
Yeah, now I understand that you are a flat earther as well, Deshaun. Is that correct?
That's crazy. Listen, let's just stay on topic here with Northwestern. These guys, look at the points against Big Ten opponents. 10, 10, and 15. How are you staying within? I don't see them staying within 30 of Ohio State. 99-17, they've outscored their 2 Big Ten opponents. 48-7 at Nebraska, 51-10 at Indiana. And I don't think Northwestern is as good as either of those teams. Indiana, maybe they're kind of equal, but the offense, 13-10, 31-10, 24-15, they won 30-14 over your UNLV. This team is bad. The quarterbacking is bad. Both of the quarterbacks, less than 50% completions. It's terrible. And Field, 18-1 TD to interception ratio. Look at the scores. These guys, Ohio State, 76-5, 42-0, 45-21. They're good for 45 before halftime, possibly. If they get a couple turnovers here, this game's going to be like a 60-10 type game.
Yeah, what is the total on this game?
I could lay 35. It's 49.5.
So if you think it's 60-10, you're taking the over then, right?
I think Ohio State could put up 45 themselves. The thing is Nebraska going to, is Northwestern going to score 10 points? That's the question.
No, and of course the over.
Can they score? Right. Even if they score 10, I think Ohio State's, they're not going to settle for 30. And plus this is a Friday night game. Are you kidding me? Yeah. They're going to want to come in off a bye. They're like, we're going to run trick plays. It's going to be all eyes on us because, listen, Bama and LSU, SEC gets all the glory, but you know what? We're Ohio State. They're a pretty good team.
Right. Well,
they're not too shabby.
Right. And the Buckeyes, the overs cashed in 9 of the last 13 road games. So there certainly looks like the over is a good way to go on that. By the way, we ask you to comment on our social media while the show's going on. We've had a couple of interesting comments from some very aptly named. I like this one, Hustler Wilson. What a great name that is. He says the Nationals, easy cheese. That's right. Ship the cheese over there to Hustler Wilson. And we did have another comment about the Nationals from Deer Slayer Ski. I think some of our listeners and viewers might need some therapy, but we'll deal with that a different time. All right, Deshaun, thank you so much. Always an absolute pleasure to have you on.
I'll see you at the Flat Earth Convention.
Yes, you will. Just don't sail into that big block of ice at the end of the world, okay?
There's a big car tire holding it, so you just bump off of it.
Absolutely. All right, when we come back, I know we've given out a lot of picks. By the way, you can find all these picks at free picks at picksandparlays.net. When we come back after the break, I'm going to wrap it all up for you. So don't worry. If you missed any, right after the break, I'll give them to you.
If you or a loved one is suffering from a physical or emotional condition that has left you unable to work, then listen carefully. Take this number down, 800-593-7491. That's 800-593-7491. When you call, you'll speak with a Social Security disability expert and get a free evaluation to see if you may qualify for disability insurance benefits from the U.S. government. That's right, a monthly cash payment paid directly to you from the Social Security Administration. Whether you're applying for the first time or you've already been denied disability benefits, call now. The disability attorneys at Pinnacle Disability can help you build your case, file an appeal, and represent you at no upfront cost to you. Don't wait another minute to see if you may qualify for your Social Security disability benefits. Call Pinnacle Disability Group at 800-593-7491 for your free case evaluation. That's 800-593-7491. 800-593-7491. Call now.
Not too long ago, it felt good to withdraw your cash from the bank, didn't it? For a vacation or a new car. But today, withdrawing your own cash has become risky. Pat Boone here for Swiss America. According to The Secret War, a new Swiss America white paper, I learned that all banks are now required to spy on you and me for the government, and then report any financial behavior deemed suspicious or unusual. You must read The Secret War. It's free. Truth is, I believe the government's new war against cash is really a war against us all. But the secret is now out. So please, get and read The Secret War.
Pick up your phone and call right now. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. 800-932-5517. Once again, that's 800-932-5517.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Clapper, Chief of Orthopedic Surgery at Cedars-Sinai Medical Group in Los Angeles, California. Dedicated to your health, your life, and your sports. As a weekend warrior, you know about sports injuries and pain. Exercise is an important element in keeping your body's core in good shape to minimize sports injuries. But when you are in pain, there is one product that I recommend to my patients, and that is Blue Goo Gel. Blue Goo consists of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is the segment where we wrap up all the great picks that our expert handicappers have brought you during the last hour here on the Sports Byline Broadcast Network and live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Nick Geber. I'm in for Chelsea Messinger. You can find me on Twitter at Nick Geber. We're going to get to the picks in a second. Of course, Tony gave us our opening line report, so we're not going to put all of those up on the screen for you. But we will put up Chip Chirimbes and Sean Higgs' picks. Let's start, shall we? And the Chipper, he had Cardinals at Nationals. He said take the under 7 on this one. And by the way, if you want his actual pick for this one, it's on picksandparlays.net. It's his pick of the day. All right, and Chip's college football picks. Pitt at Syracuse, take the under 52. And his Monday Night Football pick, he says take the Lions plus 3.5. Then, of course, we had Deshaun Higgs. His college football picks, UCLA at Stanford, take Stanford minus 7.5. Ohio State at Northwestern, take Ohio State minus 27.5. And Clemson at Louisville, take Clemson minus 22.5. Once again, all of our picks are up on the website, picksandparlays.net. We've got a huge section of free picks, loads of free picks for you, all sports. Everything from college football, NFL, baseball, hockey, soccer, it's all there for you. And then we also have our expert pick section when you're ready to really kick it up a notch and get into a little bit more detail. By the way, for those of you that are sending me social media messages, just want to let you know on Thursday, I will be bringing you my Premier League weekend picks. Of course, the international break in soccer is behind us. Thank God. Back to our beloved leagues. Starting up again this weekend, and there are some good matchups this weekend. I will have some quality, delicious, piping hot Premier League picks for you on Thursday. All right, once again, we're with you every Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific, right here on the Sports Byline Network, American Forces, iHeart, TuneIn, and of course, you can find this show right after it's concluded, both on YouTube and also at the Believe Podcast Network. For me, Nick Geber, and all the fine people at picksandparlays.net, hope you have a great day. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Cheers.